volume of sales and attracted more commission-paying third-party sellers to the site. That allowed Amazon to get more out of fixed costs, like the fulfillment centers, and the servers needed to run the website. This greater efficiency then enabled it to lower prices further. Feed any part of this flywheel, they reasoned, and it should accelerate the loop. And so, the flywheel would turn, building momentum, push the flywheel, accelerate momentum, then repeat. Bezos, Stone continued, considered Amazon's application of the flywheel concept the secret sauce. In the monograph, and I'm going to describe it for you here, I've sketched my own take on the essence of the original Amazon flywheel in a diagram. Now, as we go through the monograph, I just want to give a heads up. I will describe a number of sketches of specific flywheels to illustrate the flywheel concept. I'll try to give you a really good visual feel for what they look like and how they work. And I want to be clear that these reflect my own take on the flywheel from each case. The leaders who built these flywheels would likely draw them with more nuance than I have. I've kind of simplified them down to give you an illustrative sketch so that you can really grasp the concept, how the flywheel really works, and to stimulate your own thinking about your own flywheel. So what you want to picture is a circle that's going around. It's got arrows, if you will, that are kind of moving clockwise, right? From 12 to 3 to 6 and around the flywheel all the way back up around. Think of it as that flywheel just keeps turning and turning and turning in the same direction. And that's what builds the momentum. Now, as you think about the flywheel, what you also want to picture is that at certain points along that clock, if you will, there are key components of the flywheel, and each part feeds into the next part. Notice the inexorable logic. If you trace your way around the Amazon flywheel a few times in your mind, you can almost get swept up in the momentum. Each component sets you up for the next component, indeed almost throwing you around the loop. Bezos and his team could have panicked during the dot-com bust, abandoned the flywheel, and succumbed to what I describe in Good to Great as the doom loop. When caught in the doom loop, companies react to disappointing results without discipline, grasping for a new savior, program, fad, event, or direction, only to experience more disappointment. Then they react without discipline yet again, leading to even more disappointment. Instead of falling into the doom loop, Amazon committed fully to its flywheel, and then innovated aggressively within that flywheel to build and accelerate momentum. Amazon not only survived, but it became one of the most successful and enduring companies to emerge from the whole dot-com era. Over time, Amazon would renew and extend the flywheel far beyond simple e-commerce and enhance the flywheel with new technology accelerators such as artificial intelligence and machine learning. But throughout, the underlying flywheel architecture remained largely intact, creating a customer value compounding machine that many of the largest companies in the world came to fear. Never underestimate the power of a great flywheel, especially when it builds compounding momentum over a very long time. Once you get your flywheel right, as the Amazon people did, you want to renew and extend that flywheel for years to decades, decision upon decision, and action upon action, and turn by turn, each loop adding to the cumulative effect. But to best accomplish this, you need to understand how your specific flywheel turns. Now, your flywheel will almost certainly not be identical to Amazon's. The point here is not that you should copy Amazon's, but your flywheel should be just as clear, and the logic of your flywheel equally sound. In the years since publishing Good to Great, I've challenged dozens of leadership teams to do for themselves what the Amazon team did for itself. Some of those teams traveled to our management lab at the Good to Great project in Boulder, Colorado. And I watched each team assemble its flywheel, almost like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. They'd get all the pieces laid out, and then they'd